Now, I give you three examples which will illustrate how dramatic the shift of power has been. First, I'll compare the European Union with China. In 1980, 45 years ago, the combined economy of the EU was 10 times larger than China. 10 times. Today, EU and China are about the same size. By 2050, EU will be half the size of China. I want to emphasize one point. This kind of massive structural shift in one human lifetime of 70 years, where the European Union goes from being 10 times larger to becoming half the size in 70 years, these kinds of structural shifts don't happen very often. And because they are happening now, the pressure for change becomes very real. But let me give you two other examples. The second one, I'll compare the United Kingdom and India. And this is a good comparison to make. Just remember, 100 years ago, quite remarkably, 100 years ago, 100,000 Englishmen could effortlessly rule over 300 million Indians. I mean, looking back now, it's quite stunning that that happened. I mean, just imagine today the British Prime Minister sending 100,000 Englishmen to run India today. They'd be massacred, right? But that happened 100 years ago. But I can tell you, even as recently as 1990, 35 years ago, the British GDP was still 4 times larger than that of India, right? But last year, India surpassed the British to have a larger economy, and by 2050, India will be 4 times the size of the British, right? Look at that. In 1980, the British were 4 times bigger than India. By 2050, India will be 4 times bigger than the UK. A major fundamental shift. And let me give you a third example, because everyone knows the China story, everyone knows the India story. I'm glad you mentioned ASEAN, Cheng. But ASEAN has also done remarkably well. As recently as 2000, Germany, which is the industrial powerhouse of Europe, was 3 times bigger than ASEAN. By last year or this year, Germany and ASEAN are about the same size. And by 2050, Germany will be half the size of ASEAN.